yourself an army. And boy, let me tell you, did I. And if people think that we're going to stop fighting for our freedom and liberty, they got something coming. All right, it's Friday. Thanks y'all for tuning in. So I got back from my so-called vacation. Let's see. I was 3 weeks. I had 3 weeks of vacation, and I came back last week. As you guys saw, I was on with Quincy, the BC preacher, and we had a great podcast last Friday. So thank you again for tuning in tonight on Stand Up, Stand Out America with yours truly, Bianca Gracia. And guys, I was scheduled to have Topher on tonight. He is actually in New York, still at a concert. So he has notified me that he is super sorry and sends his apologies across the board because he's obviously at a concert. And so I, of course, honor that because Topher's my brother from another mother. And so he's doing his thing out in New York. I think he's out with Jimmy Levy. So they're definitely rocking it out in New York. So I was really excited. And if you guys don't know who he is, I'm still going to play his song on here because I really, really love it. And I want to talk about some other stuff going on as well. So hold on a second. I want y'all to make sure y'all hear his song. So here we go.
Someday I will buy valleys with good origins, sails to distant shores. Stand up high and proud, noble bark I see, steady course for the heathens. Human foemen, human foemen, human foemen.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is what we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defend the Constitution, many warriors of vow, casting down any among us who have bucked and cow. Enough for tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return it to a form of glory, fix their bloody crack on the crown. Fetch it down, it's going down.
Someday I will buy valleys with good origin, sails to distant shores. Stand up high and proud, noble bark I see, steady course for the heathens. Human foemen.
My mama told me, yeah, she warned me that this day would come. I'm like my father, go to combat with the blazing guns. I survived that, then I came back to the place I'm from to face off all these haters and the battle in the place I love. You can't break me down, I'm indivisible. You still see my raps if I was invisible. But I'm standing tall, and I spit the truth. So you all appalled, cause you know it's true. They call it freedom cause the fallen troops pay for this. I love this country, doesn't matter how much hate I get. I take my colors in the battle, ain't no wavering. Cause this is for my warriors who marching to the cadence. This is for the sisters working hard on the ship. This is for the brothers getting y'all doctorate. Father, yeah, taking y'all on the ship. Baby, tell me why it's off of the Patriot.
Someday I will buy valleys with good origin, sails to distant shores. Stand up high and proud, noble bark I see, steady course for the heathens. Human foemen, human foemen, human foemen.
So there you have it. In case you didn't know who Topher was, or you haven't heard of him. So Topher is actually a dear friend of mine. I've gotten to know him very, very well. And just so that you all know, he is, just tell you all this real quick. So Topher is a 23-time Billboard charting Christian conservative hip hop artist. He's an Air Force veteran and a political commentator, and Topher is inspiring others through true patriotism and impacting culture with positive music, using his music as a platform to eradicate the traditional paradigm of biased information and rumors. So big shout out to my buddy out there, Topher, having a concert out in New York. And we miss you on Stand Up, Stand Out America, but I will rebook you and you will come back, I know, so that you can say hi to everybody here. And so anyway, we're truly going to miss you, but we know you're doing your thing, and I'm so proud of you, and you've accomplished so much. So you kind of, Jimmy Levy, big shout out to you and Bryson and Isaiah, Robin. I mean, we've got so many rappers out there who are definitely doing their thing to change culture, and they're doing a fantastic job. I do want to take a moment, y'all. This has been a very tough last 2 weeks for me. As one of my dear friends, her son passed. He was 27 years old, and today was his services. So it's been a long day, very emotional day, very draining day. Our hearts have been broken. The family's hearts have been broken. This was definitely a very, very hard last 2 weeks. And so I just want to tell you guys, I don't normally do this, but this really hit home. And I've known this family for a very, very, very long time. So I really want to dedicate this episode to the one and only, and there's really no one who can replace this child. No one. He's definitely, for people that knew him, he just loved, and everybody says he loved, and he loved big. He loved everyone. He used to call me Queen Bee, and so he's a big prankster. If no matter the moment was sad or whatever was going on, everything had to be funny. There could never be a dull moment. It's always laughter with him. So I really, truly want to dedicate tonight, Stand Up, Stand Out America, with yours truly, Bianca Gracia. I want to dedicate it to Cole Pierce here. So I'm just going to show you real quick. We celebrated his life today. Cole Pierce, you will not be forgotten, but you will be definitely missed by so many in this community. He's a handsome little thing. Look at that. He's just a handsome little thing. Definitely movie star. There's just so much to say about him. Again, he was 27 years old. And although his life has been short, he definitely impacted so many people across this country, really around this community and this country. Literally, he was living in Birmingham, Alabama. So again, I just really ask for all of our listeners tonight on Stand Up, Stand Out America, or if you are even listening tomorrow, whatsoever. It's like I said, it's been a tough 2 weeks, but I just want to dedicate this to Cole Pierce. We celebrated your life today. Cole, you will be missed. I love you dearly. You're always going to be in my heart. And so just please remember this child, and please remember the Pierce family. So for those prayer warriors out there, if you can, please pray for my friend, my very, very dear friend, Melissa Pierce, and her family as they go through this very, very hard life. And this was her first child, her firstborn. And so it's been very, very difficult. And I don't get super emotional, right? But today's been a very, very long day. So anyhow, I just thank you all. Definitely prayers for this family, for Melissa Pierce, and anybody who searches her Facebook, because she's mainly on Facebook. But Cole Pierce had a Snapchat. He had an Instagram. Go check him out. Cole was always documenting his life, literally. She told us a story today that she found 14,000 videos on his phone, and he literally had been documenting basically his life, everything he did every day. So the kid was full of life and taken too soon, but definitely. So Cole Pierce, I know you're out there, in the spiritual realm now, and I know that we love you, and I know you loved us, and so I just want to know that Queen Bee's dedicating this episode to you. So with that said, anyhow, I just want to take that moment of some peace and silence. Thanks. So, joining me tonight, though, I do have I say special guest because she's always special, but she's, you guys will know her. She's a friendly. You guys definitely will, probably miss her because she's kind of been out of the scene for a while. So, we're gonna get her back on our podcast and talk a little bit about things that are going on and do some announcements and all that good stuff. So anyhow, thanks to those tuning in, and do share our message. Thank you so very much. Here is the one and only Mrs. Cody Cagg. Welcome, Mrs. Cody, one of my favorites, who is standing in tonight because Topher couldn't make it. And so I thank you for always answering the call.
What did you call me?
I called you Cody Cagg.
No. What did you call me when you called me when I answered that call?
Oh, my trusty man. I'm like, my trusty. I was like, who else can I call? My one and only trusty, the one that I can always count on, rely on. So literally, thank you for being like, yeah, I'll join on. So I was like, thank goodness. I was just telling everyone it's been an emotional day as we buried, or we had services for, my dear friend's son who passed. And so it's been a long 2 weeks. So anyway, I was just kind of dedicating this episode to him.
Well, and my condolences to his family and friends, and such a young life. But he lived a good life, I'm sure.
Yes, he did. He lived it big and he lived it large, and there was really not a lot that kid was just, he was like, everybody always says, oh, he's like no other. No, this kid was really like no other. He was amazingly just a bright light. So anyway, but I thank everybody out there for, just praying for that family, and just praying. Really, that's all we can do. As a mom, and you're a mom, Cody, you know that a loss of a child, we just can't imagine. There's just really there's no words. It's been really tough. So, but yeah, I was saying, Topher was supposed to be on tonight. I played one of his songs right now and was talking about, who Topher is, and if people didn't know who he was. And so one of the things is I'm going to share my screen real quick, because I am going to say, okay, if you did not know who Topher was for some reason, this is where you can find him. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here it is. So, I think if you guys can see this.
Yes.
Yep. You can see that there are his contacts he can be found pretty much. Oh, let me take this sticker away. Let's see. Where is this? Oh, there it is. Okay, so. Oh, why is this on here? Okay, there we go. So here is Bryson. We love Bryson. Cody, Bryson's one of our favorites.
Yes, he is.
So yeah, so you can find Topher right here on Topher Town Music, Topher Town on YouTube, Topher Town Music on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, or it looks like TikTok, and on Instagram. So you can pretty much find him on all the platforms if you have not heard of Topher. So anyway, there you go, Topher. Big shout out to you.
I'm gonna have to check him out because I haven't heard Topher. I mean, I know Bryson, but I haven't heard Topher's music.
So. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely, no. Topher is, I don't know if Topher was before Bryson. No, I don't think he was. I think he was after Bryson. So, but Topher's had 20, I think he's at 20, it says 23, but I think he's at 28 billboards now.
Oh, wow. That's great.
So Yeah, exactly. I was like, holy mackerel. So he's definitely
Tens of thousands on my
That's
right.
great because you know how most of these guys, how Bryson Gray was censored and why he turned into the Patriot music because
yes,
of his beliefs. So it's good that there's an avenue for them to play their music and be enjoyed by a lot of people that have the same beliefs and values that they do. So that's
correct.
great to hear.
Correct.
Something to
Yeah, there's
celebrate.
I'm at Amfest, I was actually surprised there were so many more because Bryson kind of broke into that scene. So many other like young rappers and or people that didn't even think they were going to rap, but
Mhm.
you see all these Christian hip hop rappers coming out, and that's what they say they're Christian, so they, and they don't just do all Christian music, but that's what they consider themselves. And so they're really changing the culture. And so, Topher's, like I said, he's out in New York and he was performing, so he didn't think it was going to run late, and it did. But he's now on like a little, he's going to go on a tour. And so I was excited to talk to him about that. But it's great to see that these
Mhm.
guys are doing that, and we need that. We need that on our side. We need to affect culture. We need to be able to, not just where we're speaking
Mhm.
politics, but you just need to be able to reach people through music, art. There's
Yes.
ways to reach people other than just, the same thing.
Yeah, we need that category, that section of entertainment, because in all reality, that's what motivates a lot of the youth, the music, the
Yes,
art. And it's good that we have several conservative, artists out there that are there for the youth and to influence them in their artistic musical way. I know
right.
I'm always playing not always, but I play Bryson Gray a lot, and my daughter's very familiar with him, and he's always going to be my favorite. Sorry, Bryson is always going to be my
Well, of
favorite.
course, but don't tell Topher that. But yeah, no, definitely, because Bryson's, we've been with Bryson for, for a while now. So we've known Bryson, grew kind of like we say we grew up with Bryson, but yeah, definitely
Hmm.
Bryson is always going to be the grand, we're gonna call him the Godfather. The
Yes, that
Godfather of the
gun-toting patriot is my favorite.
gun-toting favorite, ultra mega gun-toting patriot. It's amazing though. I think that to see that these guys and they really are much more active on Instagram, but to see these guys, like, some national political incident can happen and within overnight they have a song.
Hmm.
That's how talented they are. They literally rap a song just like that and they push it out. And I'm like, that takes, you got to have some talent for that. Me,
Yeah,
I'd
to
be
bring
like,
out those lyrics and the
yeah,
music.
to rhyme it and bring out them, and then put the music together to the lyrics overnight.
Hmm.
That's a talent. There's no way. Listen, people ask me to write something and I'm like, it's a week later and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to write. So I'm like, oh
I know
crap.
my own bio. I had to do my bio again for the board that I sit on here locally. And it's like, oh my God, I have to, have to update it. But even my own bio, it's kind of hard to come up with words. And this guy's, I mean, that's a talent that they have. And it's a
Big talent.
God-given talent. It's amazing.
Yep, I love it. I love it. So yeah, no. So like I said, I'll have to bring him on again. When he's free and not at a that he
Not
didn't
a
think it
concert
was
night.
yeah, he didn't know it was gonna take this long. It was earlier, but it's running late. And so hey, I'm like, do your thing because you gotta do your thing. So it's
That's a
it's
good
awesome.
sign. That's a good
It
sign.
is it is a good time in New York. Come on, in New York, so that's good. So I'm like, yeah, no, do your thing, definitely. So let's see. There's just so much in the news. I know that you don't try to watch a whole lot of news, but there's stuff that we find out on whether it's through Get whatever, but there's just things
Mhm.
going on. Anything in particular stuck out to you in this past week? Any headline, anything going on that you're just like,
You're gonna have to give me the news and the rundown for now because I've been out of commission for a while because of work and stuff that's been happening all week. It's been kind of hectic in my my regular job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the last thing that I got onto Twitter earlier, but I had to get out after not even a minute. But I did see that the Texas GOP put out an ad against Fallon.
Really?
Yeah, calling him out
Against,
on that we're
wait,
not
against
going to
who?
stand. Huh?
Against who?
Dan Phelan or Felon, that
Dylan,
guy, Dave
Dylan,
Fallon.
uh-huh.
Yes,
Really?
calling him out on the Democrat appointed chairs that he did, that we didn't put Republicans in office so he can be given now Democratic chairs. That's not what he's there for. So Matt Rinaldi actually tweeted that, and I saw it on Patrick's Twitter, and Dade has yet to give out a comment on it.
Of course he's not. These people just don't care. They like have zero respect for grassroots.
Mhm.
These politicians have been emboldened to do whatever they want and not really care about what the party structure says or what the platform or the planks are. They just do whatever they want to do, but they expect to run on the party name.
Mhm.
They expect to get the money, but they don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, no, it's disrespectful. So
And
I know, listen, but you say you've kind of been out of the loop, but I know you haven't, because look, I talked to you and I know you haven't come on the podcast or anything, but number one, I want to get your feedback on how the whole what you felt about the Kevin McCarthy thing, because that was something happened.
Mhm.
Second, we were in Austin last week. And when we were in Austin, we went to go support the No Democrat. So I want you to tell me first just a snippet of what your take was watching the whole McCarthy thing go down. What was what you think?
it was entertaining. It made me proud for once in a very long time, because I saw that there's still people in office that have a backbone. We have very few, but there's still people out there that have a backbone, that are fighting for we the people, that held off to the very end to do the right thing. So that gave me hope, and it made me proud. And it shows the people that were so easily sold out to the McCarthy, those people that got all the money in their campaign. And
Mhm.
it's very easy to see who they were. And a lot of people showed their colors. And with them holding off, even though I wanted them to continue voting, I mean, I wanted them to continue voting till now. I didn't want McCarthy to be there. I wanted them
Right.
to hold back, but they held them off, and they got things done. They came out with a list of demands that he has to adhere for, and if he doesn't, they can vote him out. So that was something in progress. So we have those, what did Fox News call them? Insurrectionists?
Oh,
Terrorists?
no, what did he
Insurrectionist or something like that.
well, not insurrectionist. They used a different word. Oh, what was it? They used tyrants or something. They called them
Tyrants, but I
tyrants.
think also Brian Cleland, the one that in the morning
Yeah.
called them insurrectionists or something like that. So those 20 those congressmen that held off,
Mhm.
they practiced what the Constitution is. They voted for what was right, for who they represent us. They didn't vote because they didn't vote right away for McCarthy, saying, "Oh, he gave us money or whatever." No, they held
Mhm.
their vote, and that's the way it should be. Those are discussions that we should be having. We shouldn't be voting so easily for people. People like
Mhm.
you and I say, we are going to vote for the people that have earned our vote. And McCarthy has definitely not earned anybody's vote, only by money. But
Right.
it goes back to the establishment and the bought out candidates that we have been trying to get rid of.
Right. Right. Yeah, that was very interesting. I remember we were texting back and forth about
Hmm.
I was laughing at the whole thing. I was like, haha, because I was enjoying watching it. I was
Yes.
enjoying watching, Kevin McCarthy squirm in his seat
And
because
listening to
he
Laura
thought he had
Loomer.
it. Yeah, he thought he had it. He was like, he thought he had it from the very beginning, like this is, blah blah, like this is mine or whatever. And then by the end, they kind of ran him down, and it was,
He made
it's
history. How many times did he lose?
Well, yeah, he's gonna go down the books as the first one to
The
what it took
biggest loser.
what is it, 15, 16 times to
I
finally
think it was
get
like
the vote?
18 or 19. I think it was,
It
I
was more
mean,
than 15?
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't remember that, but yeah, that is to me, I thought that was so yeah, it was funny. It was
Yeah.
definitely
So
funny. I
it
enjoyed watching him squirm.
it was something that I was very proud of. I'm very proud. I will block walk or do calls or anything that Matt Gates or Lauren Boebert need. I mean, I am there because they held off and they deserve our supports because now that they held back, he's not going to go quiet. They're going to go after them. They're going
Mhm,
to go after them. I mean, that
mhm.
one man tried to we wanted to jump at him for voting against the last day, the guy with the
Right.
toupee.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
was,
The guy
but
with
I'm
the
very, very proud of Matt and Lauren and even the other ones for holding on. I mean, sooner or later they started tripling down, but their first vote wasn't for Kevin McCarthy.
right,
Unlike, my congresswoman, I will not block walk for her.
right, right. Oh, yeah, we know all that one too well. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely.
And Dan Crenshaw was out there calling them out as
Oh,
well.
oh, he's horrible. Listen, nobody likes him, and everybody thinks that he's like so loved. I'm like, no, he's not.
But
He's
why?
not.
I mean, we've had these conversations like nobody likes them, but yet they're still there. They're still
Right.
there, and it's very, very disappointing.
Exactly. Well, because again, they're part of the whole swamp, basically. So
Hmm.
yeah. So that was, it's good to get your take on the whole McCarthy thing. So what about going last week when we went to, the Capitol? You know, it was good to see everybody.
I
I know
know. I
that
miss. I miss.
everybody. Oh my God.
I
But,
know. I miss getting back
you
together.
know,
But
what'd you
it
think of that
it
whole
was. I hadn't gone to a session in the Texas Capitol. That was the first time for me, and to be there, and we knew it wasn't a shocker that they voted the day before because he knew people were coming, and that they called a what is it recess throughout the whole
so
thing.
yeah, let's explain that. Let's explain that because I think a lot of people don't know that that happened. So, oh wait, why okay, hold on a second. This thing's getting messed up. Where are my things? Anyway, so here we go. So, first of all, we went to Austin. Let's explain this. So, we went to Austin because there was a grassroots call out that okay, so like let's take this back. Actually, last year at convention, the delegates of the state of Texas, we vote on what the top priorities should be for the session. Okay, so the delegates come from all over the state, and it takes 3 days for us to decide. There's a whole bunch of platforms, and every single one is important to everybody, right? But you got to narrow it down to the top 10 priorities that you're going to hold your elected officials accountable through the Republican Party, right? In doing their job for the next session. So there's debate, like days of debate on what that needs to be. So we come up with our 10 initiatives, and one of the initiatives is to ban Democrat chairs from becoming, being given the committee chairs, because we know that everything gets killed in those committees. And so that was one of the things. So this year, as session started, there was a grassroots call out right across the state of Texas, and said, everybody come out, in support, because a Thursday is going to be the voting day, right? The people get sworn in on one day, and then the next day, like, stuff happens. And of course, there was a movement to unseat Date Felon or whatever his name is, right? Felon or
Yes.
whatever. So that was one thing. Yeah. So that was one thing. And then the second thing was, there was a couple of other stuff, right? But the ban the Democrat chairs. So all across the state of Texas, all these grassroots people make T-shirts that were red, and it say, ban Democrat chairs. And so the goal was to, kind of descend into the Capitol in Austin, go to the gallery, go meet with elected officials, and go and do all that. So what happens? We get there Thursday, as everybody already had planned to go Thursday. There was buses scheduled to go. So, of course, we get told probably either late Wednesday night. I think it went out, but not everybody saw it. Not everybody knew. But what happened is Dade held what they did is on Wednesday night, they voted on crap before the grassroots got there on Thursday. So when we got there on Thursday, there was no more business. So they literally watched everybody. A sea of red was in the gallery, right, with these banned Democrat chairs. They literally gavelled in. So tell us, now that I've explained what was going on, now tell us your part, because I got there a little later. But from my understanding, is they gavelled in and then they left like on recess and never came back, leaving the grassroots there. And then all of the elected officials literally left the building. They didn't want to be bothered by their constituents. So now that I've explained that, because I know people probably didn't know that's what was going on. So you being there, now tell me your viewpoint, how it felt.
So it felt like, regardless whether, I mean, he did wrong. They should have waited. He did it to kind of scold us, saying like he's the one in power and it's going to happen what he does. But I mean, when you walked into that room and you look, because down at the bottom you see the legislators, and on the top it's all the people in red. We were all wearing those red shirts, and the people, the Congress or the senators, or what are the representatives? I'm sorry, the representatives that stood out and for the grassroots would come into and greet the people in the second floor. People would start cheering, and they were trying to quiet us down. But it was a lot of people were discouraged to see that happened, that no vote was given. They kind of just took pictures and called recess, and that was it. You couldn't even hear what they were saying because the mics were low. And even when people were quiet, we couldn't hear anything. So what these representatives did, I think it was 6 of them, they went outside and did a press conference. They did a press conference and they spoke about what happened and how they were blocking those votes. But the Republicans, the majority of the Republicans voted with Dade, voted for Democrats. So what's the use of voting in Republicans if they're still going to be Democrats? I mean, that happened here. The one Republican seat that they turned over here in South Texas, in the Brownsville area, she voted with the Democrats. Her first vote as a rookie representative, and she already voted wrong. So
speaking of that, I've seen her Facebook, and people were, there was people that were obviously like congratulating her, right? But there was people that were definitely saying, that she let them down and that they would not be voting for her again. And to remember that, people worked hard to get that seat flipped, but they didn't get it flipped just so she could go vote with Democrats. And she's like literally, telling people, hey, please let me call you and let me explain. And so there's this, a lot of these state reps, right? And I have one in my area too, that actually, no, 2 in my area. They're supposed to be conservative. The conservatives, they voted with the Democrats too. They voted with Dade. And so, and what I'm seeing on their Facebooks, they're trying to they really think we're stupid. Like they literally are trying to explain how they were deceived on the floor. I'm like, I'm sorry. In my case, one is seasoned, one is new. The seasoned one, I'm sorry, but no, you're not going to fly with the whole, I didn't know what was going on. Maybe the ones that are like new, maybe you can kind of give them the, I didn't know what was going on. But I'm sorry. Those people were all
no, that is your job.
That's your job. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But listen, don't for one second think they were not briefed. How do you not brief? How do you not know what's going on with your party? Are you not talking to your colleagues? That was my thing. But that's their explanation. They're all trying to get out of it on social media.
And we went to her office. The people that came from South Texas, from her area, people that helped her block walk, we went to her office, and I thought I was live streaming, but I can't find that video, which is very disappointing to me because she's getting confronted and asked. And I told her, I mean, but isn't why would you vote for something that you don't know? Like, why are you going to vote with the Democrats? And it's like she didn't know what to say, and she was just saying, well, once you get here, it's not that easy, it's hard. I'm like, when it's like any other job. Once you get the job, I mean, you have to see what the job entails, and can't make a decision until you see.
Well, obviously, Cody, and I think you froze, but once that you go there, I mean, if you run for office, yeah, you froze, but it's okay. So once you run for office, you can't go to the office and make excuses. Oh, well, I really didn't know, or I don't know what's going on, or once you get here, it's a whole different thing. No, listen, you campaigned to do certain things and got people to vote for you and believe in you. You don't go to then Austin and make your own rules. But this is what happens to these politicians.
When you're doing the rounds,
yeah.
When you're doing the rounds and you're campaigning and you're talking to people, they're telling you what is their concerns and why they want to vote for you, and how you can earn their vote. And the people that campaign for her, I mean, Rolando and Block Walk for her. Rolando's very vocal, and he's going to tell you, I don't want you to vote with the Democrats. I don't want anything to do with the Democrats. So she can't say, well, I didn't know, or whatever. No, I mean, it's so obvious that this man, Dade, is putting Democrats on the committees, Democrat chairs. And
he did. He appointed Democrats to committees, even though that's one of the top 10 priorities that was set into place during convention on behalf of the Republican Party. So that's what we have to deal with. I mean, that's what we have to deal with. And so it's like we had here in Texas, we had our top 6, right? That had the meeting afterwards. And do you remember all the top 6? I know Brian, Rep.
Yes, I have them right here. The top 6 are, hold on, I got them.
Yeah,
it's Tony Tinderholt. He's the one that led it. Tony Tinderholt is from D94. Brian Slaton from D2. Nate Cheslin from D93. Mark Dorazio from D122. Brian Harrison from District 10. And Richard Hayes from District 57. Those are the top 6. Yeah.
The top. So our top 6 were like the top 20 in DC. It's like the minority is holding out to keep conservative principles in place.
And those guys were really like, when we were out there in the press conference, and I did go live on those. So all 6 of the speeches that the people that were there that spoke, they're all on my getter. But in our
tell everybody where to go on
first getter.
Get tell everybody what is a tag for you on Getter, just in case.
Oh, okay. Mine is at Cody Cag.
At Cody Cag
on Getter or official LFT. You can find them there.
Perfect. Yeah. Go ahead.
If you listen to them, only one of them, Richard Hayes, was kind of like he's like, no, well, it's not the time to be pointing fingers. And it is the time to be pointing fingers. It is the time to be calling them out and be accountable. I'm sorry. But if you listen to the other guys, they're like, no, we need to get rid of these guys. You voted for Republicans. We are here to do your job. We're here to work for you. We're happy that our bosses are here today calling us, their bosses. That's because we voted them in. And it's true. They're there to work for us, to represent the majority of the people that voted for them, because that's why they're there. So
like one of the rep, like I said, our local rep, there was people that were very upset in my local area and calling out this local rep. And one of the, like an organization, I can't remember, it was an organization, they had put out a statement saying, calling out all of them, but this person in particular, because this is the area she represents. And my thing was this. So I'm like, okay, you're an organization and you're calling them out, right? You're calling them out because they did what they did. But I'm like, look, I just ran for office myself, and I know that all these organizations, you can call out everybody you want, but the
Mm-hmm.
minute the candidate or the elected official comes over and writes you a check, okay, when they write you $10,000 check to have a
Mm-hmm.
meeting for them and to call people to have a meeting so they can still be talking to the voters, you do it anyway. You take the money. So how are you going to sit there and try to hold these people accountable, and then you turn around, accept their check, host a meeting for them so they can come talk, and you promote them anyway?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make no sense to me. I'm like, I'm sorry, they ain't coming writing me checks, because you know why? Because I'm not going to do that. Like, you either do what you said you're going to do, or you just don't do it at all. But I'm not going to take money just because,
Mm-hmm.
to put an event together for you. So, we're going to prop you right back up to do the very things we voted for you not to do. And that's the thing. I'm like, I'm sorry, that doesn't work out for me. It doesn't work out for me. Like, that's the problem with these elected officials. That's why they get cocky. They can complain
Mm-hmm.
because no one really holds them responsible. And then the consultants tell the elected official, like, don't worry about them. You can do this, and in a year they're going to forget you did it anyway. That's
Yeah,
the
and
problem.
yeah, or they'll say, "Oh, it's only one person. That's it's only one, or it's only two, or whatever."
Yeah,
They don't see us
exactly.
as a big
The
group.
rest, yeah, the rest
Mm-hmm.
don't care what you've done or whatever. And so, and that's how the grassroots and the people that are politically involved get disregarded, right? Is because, we're not going along with the stream of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's become, and I know you and I have talked about this, it's become a game. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
this is all it is. This whole political thing, it's all a game for both sides. I'm sorry,
Yeah. Yes,
they
it's
both
both
play.
sides.
They both play, and in the end, people like us that just, and other people, we are really the victims, right? We're the
Mm-hmm.
ones that get taken advantage of. We get lied to. We get deceived. They laugh at us, and I always go back and think about what Don Huffines told us when they get to Austin and they're put together in a room. What did he say, Myra? What did he say, Cody?
I don't remember. You're gonna have to.
John Huffines, when he says
Mhm.
they laugh at you,
Oh yeah, yeah.
when
They
he said
laugh
they
at
put you
you.
in a room,
Yes.
yeah, and then you go and you say,
Mhm.
hey, these are the parties,
This
what
is
they
what
want,
we. This is the priority things. This
the
is what we
priorities,
have.
and no one really, that Dan Patrick's like, no one really does that, like, laughs at your face. And I'm like, this is very interesting. And it goes back to donors, donors who write them the checks. You
Mm-hmm.
keep these people in office, they're going to continue to do that. So one of these days, these donors, when China owns all of Texas, and we're communist, it's going to be your fault because you keep giving them money to do the same exact thing, to be corrupt. So you're feeding into the corruption system. So it's nothing but a game, and it's very disappointing. So moving on to something else, and I wanted, like, kind of two couple of small, I guess not small announcements, but and listen, you live in a border city. So I know this is definitely something that you and I have been very passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
is all of what's happening at the border. It seems to me that more and more people are talking about what's going on at the border. Would you say that that's a true statement? Like, we're seeing more and more people talk about what's going on at the border than we did before.
Yeah, I see it become more of a trend. People are talking more about it. When I don't know if they're because of what's going on right now with Biden, that the borders are even more, they're wider, they're more open, there's not protection out there. But under Trump, it was more controlled. We've said that under President Trump, and the support was there for the border patrol and everything. But I mean, I to me, it's still the same. The borders are still, we don't have the security that we need to have. Even when
Mm-hmm.
Trump was there, I mean, our borders were more secured, but more could have been done. But he was
Mm-hmm.
being held back. But yeah, I think that a lot of people, I mean, we've seen how many legislators or candidates come to the border and do their little photo ops down here. It's been
Right.
a it's just been like a lot, but still
That's the
nothing is
swamp.
getting
Well,
done.
that's a swamp for you. The swamp people go
Mhm.
down there and get an optic. Then they go back to DC and they send out some email asking for donations because they're going to
Yeah.
try to take care of the
There,
border.
there was
But
one
nothing.
candidate. There was one candidate, and it's one of our. He's one of my favorite candidates, and we support him a lot. When he came to the border, and it's like, I go, "What? Are you gonna come take pictures to the border?" He's like, "Why? I don't live close by here. That's not what my constituents are concerned about. Not right now. So I mean, I want to, he came to help me out with an event. We went, whatever, because it's, just to see it, because the lady that was
Right,
taking pictures with him wanted to see it.
right,
But he's like, that's not what's the main concern for my constituents right now. So,
right.
but and
And
it's
that
true. It's
and
like,
but that's when you know that they're genuine. They're not there for the photo op. They really were
yeah,
there. They go and see what's going on, but they're not there for the photo op to go take advantage
yes,
of it.
yeah,
Like
to make
most
a press
candidates,
conference or whatever,
right,
or,
a little
yes.
press conference and blah 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 and all this other stuff, right? They take advantage. So you know
Hmm.
that I work for the America Project. I'm over, I'm their chief strategist at the border at the America Project, and we are putting together. Our America Project is working super super hard, putting together what we call Border 911. And we're starting this series in Phoenix, Arizona, and then we're coming to Alpine, Texas. We're going to 13. I think there's 13 cities that we are going to. I talked about this last week as well. But Jason Jones, Tom Homan, and Victor, our true, our Victor
Mhm.
is part of it. And so I wanted to show this video. There's been several videos that have been made, but this is really good. Our media team has put together a awesome video. I'm gonna try to find the one where it actually has audio. It has audio. That was music mainly, but we
Hmm.
have one that actually they're talking about the border, and I'm gonna
You
try to
see,
find it real quick.
and these are the events that have quality, because Jason Jones
Hmm.
and Victor and Tom, they all know the real border. They have been out there, the dangers, and they've come face to face with all that. I mean,
Hmm.
they know what it takes to secure a border. They can actually give the advice that is needed and that should be
Hmm.
taken. So to me, when I see people come, like, you can have candidates or whatever, they can make all these promises. Our borders are still wide open. It's been what, it's been like, what is it? What year are we? 3 years since Biden took over, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And these are the men that can actually make a difference. So
Right.
to me, I
Correct.
would have them run for office, because they know what they're doing. They're not swayed by politics.
Right. Correct. So yeah, that's one of the things. Oh my goodness, what is this? Hold on. I'm trying to get into, it's just not working.
When you have congresswomen or congressmen in the border that are voting for amnesty in the wide open border, is kind of like defeats the whole purpose of it.
Exactly. Hold on. Let me check real quick because I'm like having a hard time. I saw this video today and I think it's on TikTok. Let me find it real quick. TikTok. I want to show this TikTok video. Let me see here. Where's the TikTok? Okay, let me see if I can get into this TikTok. Oops. So, hold on a second here. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. I didn't think I was going to have to pull this up, but I'm going to pull it up anyway. Actually, that's not even it either. Hold on. I misspelled it. Hang on. That's why I can't. This is crazy. TikTok. I'm trying to get into this TikTok, but that's not it. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, hold on. Maybe this is it. Hang on. Let me see if this is it. All right, bear with me, guys. This is Jason Jones. I believe his TikTok was banned, obviously. Hello, because he was trying to shed light, right? And he was always trying to do the bring out the truth. And so anyway, so Jason Jones, what in the world is it? Hold on. This is like the weirdest thing. TikTok is making me like try to confirm sizes, or I don't know what the heck it's doing. Anyway. Oh, okay. Look, I think I'm finally in. Hold on. Let me find him real quick. So Jason.
It's a commitment for an economy that's strong. Where you could fill up a tank of gas.
Here. Okay, I think this is him. Hang on. Let me share this screen real quick. I found it. Thanks y'all for being patient here. Hang on. TikTok. Here we go. All right. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go in here. I think it might be this one.
No, that's the same one that you. Oh.
It's the same one, right? Okay, hold on. There's one. Hold on. Why can't I saw it today? Let me see. Where is it? Hold on. Maybe it's this one. Did they already censor it? Oh,
I've served my country for 4 years. And yes, I held a 5-year-old boy in my arms. I knelt down beside him and said a prayer for him because I knew what his last 30 minutes of his life was like. What I've been trying to do my 34 years serving my nation is to save lives. That's why this whole thing needs to be fixed.
If you think that this fentanyl crisis is going to get better because somehow the cartels are going to be concerned that there's so many Americans losing their lives, I want to be very clear, that is not going to happen. There is no one coming. They are going to have to be stopped.
This is Victor Avila. It is a disaster down there, especially in El Paso. I was just at the border a week and a half ago, and nothing has been done. Every time the White House says something like this, or Mayorkas continues to lie to the American public, it's an insult. It's a slap in the face to our border agents, to our HSI agents, ICE, DEA. They're being insulted by our own administration. Remember, it's not just the illegal immigrants that are coming in. It's the fentanyl, it's the methamphetamine, it's the national security threat of the terrorists. 116 of them have been detected and detained at the border. How many have infiltrated our country already? This is a national security crisis that we must wake up and pay attention.
This is the United States of America. It's supposed to be sovereign land. We're supposed to be able to control our own border. We don't control the border. The criminal cartels, the ones looking at us right now, they control this border. The strongest nation in the world no longer controls the southern border, which has resulted in historic illegal immigration, historic drug flow, historic sex trafficking of women and children. This can be stopped. We've done it before. We got to defend the border. We got to save lives.
You know, the sun is setting here behind us, and I think any reasonable and prudent American knows that what is happening has caused some dark times, but the sun will also rise. And with that, tough men are going to rise to the occasion. There is a dark winter coming for those who have hurt so many people. The question is, how long will it take before those men are able to do what needs to be done?
That's a good video.
Isn't that
It's very
awesome?
powerful. Yeah.
Isn't that
It's very-
awesome? I was trying to go ahead.
It's very powerful. And like I said, those three gentlemen know and have come face to face with the danger out there, with the poor children that are being used and abused. And it's very sad, and it's getting worse and worse. I mean, I don't know what else can be done, because when the person in the head of the nation doesn't care to do anything because they want open borders, they basically want to have a nation without borders. That's what they want, to make it into a socialist country. And they want to connect. I think I was talking to this with Raul Reyes. They want to have open borders in Mexico all the way to Canada, where people can just walk in like nothing, like just make it all one country. And that's not right. I mean, that defeats the purpose of having a country.
Right.
And it's like Tom, Mr. Holman, I can't say his last name.
Mr. Holman.
Said,
Holman.
yeah, that the strongest nation in the world is now one of the weakest, because we don't have control of our borders.
I saw that the National Border Patrol tweeted out, cartels are in charge of the border. That's what they said. We have no control of our border anymore. And but that video right there that our media team worked relentlessly hard on, to put together, that's the reality. And no one sees that reality. You get the, images on news stations, right? You'll see like migrants coming in, but you don't see the cartels, the fentanyl. You don't see the sex trafficking, human trafficking, child trafficking, labor trafficking. People don't see that aspect of it. They just think about, the poor illegals. You live in a border town. Tell me that this is not, tell me that you don't agree with, when you see that video.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, because that is what's going on in the borders. And it's true. The cartels have had a control of the borders before, and now they're just becoming more powerful. They're becoming more powerful. They have guns pointed at our men, and our men can't do anything about it. They're being threatened every day, every minute of their lives. And that's why, suicide is high. Nobody wants to work there anymore. I mean, nobody
wants to talk about that. Hold on a second. Nobody wants to talk about the suicide rate. What are you hearing? What are you hearing down through the Border Patrol, pipeline? There's been several suicides.
And it's hard because, before, how involved I was with the border and the Border Patrol. I haven't been involved in a while, but even I have heard of the suicides. There's been several suicides, and there was one gentleman that committed, one agent that committed suicide, and soon after his friend committed suicide. So it happens one after another, and these are guys that are putting their lives in danger, that are protecting our borders, but they're not given the tools to protect our borders, the support, or the go ahead and you can shoot back and save your life. If they're not doing that. They're being taught to cater to the illegals.
Yes.
And that's not right. I mean, they're putting their lives in danger. Their own leader, the president of this country, is putting the life of danger of the men that are supposed to be protecting this country. And that is wrong. And it's not only them, but also the people that live here, the people that live in Virginia, the people where all this illegals are going to, California. And I don't care if it's a Democrat state. There are conservatives and there are children in those states. that it matters. I don't care if they're kids of Democrats. All those lives matter.
Correct.
And their lives are being endangered because of all the illegals that are getting transported up. So that is one of the reasons that I never agreed with Abbott sending them up as well. And then you have the youth along the border. And I've talked to you about this, about the kids in schools, how they're getting recruited by the cartels, especially the ones living in poverty. They
Right.
see no other option but to join the cartels and throw away their lives. And
Right.
it's very sad. There's so many aspects that are being affected, and not to mention the drug addiction that they're bringing
Yes.
across.
Yes.
Making
Yes.
it, this country is very drug dependent.
Yes, you're exactly correct. So, so the America Project, we are definitely, our first event is in Arizona, January 28th. This coming up Saturday, not tomorrow, but the next Saturday. Then we're coming into Alpine, Texas. And like I said, you can go to border911.com to learn more about what's going on, or to find out if we're coming to a city near you. You can actually purchase tickets as well. They're really not that expensive. But one of the things that we have been talking to Tom Holman, Jason Jones. So a lot of people don't know Jason Jones' perspective. But one of the things that's going to be very interesting about Border 911 is that America Project, also, we have a lawfare. We have a lawfare department where our in-house counsel, Russell, has sued. We have sued the Biden administration on behalf of some of these ranchers. Like, we actually have sued. Like, a lot of people, haven't done that, but we have 5 lawsuits across the country right now. 2 in Texas, 1 in Arizona, I think New Mexico, and California. So we have filed these lawsuits against the Biden administration, and all we're asking is for them to do their job. Like, we're saying, hey, you're not following the law, and the law is a federal law. So we're going to have those ranchers obviously coming out because, we're representing them. But second of all, one of the things that I think I've heard, there's not a whole lot of speakers either. There's a few speakers that all are very experienced on this. But one of the things that I think Tom Holman and Jason Jones and Victor are very passionate, because they're the leads on this. They're very passionate about not just talking about the problem anymore. They really want to give solutions to people, or talk to legislators that are going to be attending the events as well, and equipping them with the knowledge that they need in order to go and effectively draw up a bill, or draw up legislation, or have a committee, or to try to get some things done, right? So, like, part of it is education. Obviously, Border 911 is about educating people, because let me tell you something. And I've been to Pennsylvania, Virginia, Wisconsin, Michigan. When I was in Michigan, the people in Michigan argued with me. They don't even know what's going on at the border. They argued with me. They're like, that's not happening. I'm like, what planet are you guys on? Believe it or not, we see it every day, but a lot of people are not watching mainstream media anymore. So they don't even know what's happening. So literally, there's a lot of people, once you go further into the country, they really do not know what's happening at the border at all. They're so out of touch with what's happening. So mainly education is number one about Border 911. The second thing about Border 911 is really equipping people with a call to action and helping them with finding out what they can do to make a difference, right? And then the third thing is, again, making sure that we travel across the country. And we're going, if you go to Border 911 right now, you'll find all the cities that we're going to. And a lot of these cities, they just don't know what's happening. And Newsmax, Fox News, no one's going to really tell them this. And I guarantee you, no video like this has ever been presented anywhere.
That's what I was going to say.
Yep, exactly that. So yeah, no video has ever, I had the one that was just music, right? But once you see that's all, that changes everything. You have the vision of the fentanyl, the cartels, the gun battles, the decapitation, all, you see it firsthand about what's happening, and it's happening every day.
Yeah, they're not going to point out all this graphic, pictures, which, I mean, they're not just pictures. They're the reality of the cartels. They're the reality of what a lot of these border towns go through and live through, and the kids and like I say, the youth. And I wanted to say something. I was reading the comments, and Hope puts there, "What's the purpose of this meeting? Nothing will change. We have been having this meeting since 2021. These men have no power." Bianca just said it. There's people, even at that, there's people that still don't know what's happening. And what they're doing is they're putting the reality of what's going on. And maybe, they're going to awaken 3 or 4 or 20 people, and they're going to see it, and they're going to become, they're going to become active, or they're going to do something about it, or they're going to see their children and try to, keep an eye out, or something is going to wake up. These are not events that go unrecognized, unnoticed, or there are very useful. There are the resources that they give, the what is it called, the commentary, or the experiences, that
the reality, the straight truth. Jason Jones is going to tell the straight truth that's not really told, on mainstream media. It's going to be the straight truth. And also, I think that this is kind of a message to law enforcement and our Border Patrol agents out there, saying, we still have your back.
Yes.
We're still going to keep talking about this until somebody does something about it, because it's not going to go away, and we're not going to forget about you and leave you all out there. So,
and I know that one of your speakers, because I talked to her this week, is going to be an angel mom, I believe, Marie Vega.
Yeah.
And that I've always been one to try to give them a platform, because those stories have to be told, and you have to keep telling them.
Yes.
You have to tell the stories of the angel moms and their children, because that's how they bring awareness to what happens, how they lost their lives. I mean, Javier Vega Jr., he was a Border Patrol. He lost his life when he wasn't even on duty. He was out fishing with his family. So this is things that have happened and are going to continue to happen. So we need to continue to allow them to have a platform to educate and tell the stories to the community.
Exactly. So guys, Getter, our Getter, man, we are kicking butt on Getter, guys. I love our Getter, viewership. I love all my Getter followers. You guys help me spread this message far and wide. I think we've got a lot of great people tuning in tonight on Getter. So I love you guys for being so supportive, and hanging in here with us to hear what we're talking about tonight. But we are live on, Facebook, multiple pages on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Patriot TV Live, and Getter, obviously. So we thank you so much for tuning in. If you know people, obviously, in the Arizona area, please let them know to go to border911.com for next Saturday. Join us out there. It's going to be a very beautiful event, and a beautiful location. Not a beautiful event, but it's at a beautiful location, high class location, safe location. And we just want to make sure that we empower people who do not know what's going on. There will be elected officials attending this event, because even they want to hear from these experts too, right, about what's going on, because they don't always get to hear from them. They just got elected. Some of them just got elected and they're brand new to office. So they just got sworn in, just like Texas. So it's going to be very important to them. And then again, we're coming into Alpine, Texas in February, and that's another important one. So please go to border911.com. Join us again, visit us and support the America Project as we go forth in bringing and shedding light, obviously on this matter. And lastly, before we go, I promised some of my really dear friends. Let me see, where is it? Oh, here it is. I promised my dear friends that I would definitely give a shout out to this event here. So guys, Candace Owens and her whole crew from Blexit are coming out to Houston, Texas, February 11th from 4 to 7 p.m. They will be in the downtown area at, I think it's called the Warehouse Live or something it's called. So grab your tickets. They're $5, guys. Please share that message that Blexit is coming to Houston, Texas. She was supposed to come before COVID, and then COVID hit. And so, Texas got canceled, obviously, but I believe she's coming out on tour. And guys, for those of you that obviously we didn't get to cap Topher on, but Topher is going to be here in Houston, Texas as well. So that's going to be really exciting. And hey, Myra, Cody, you may want to drive up and you can come stay with me and we can go to this Blexit event and go hang out with our Blexit, our Blexit friends and stuff and some of these rappers and just kind of hang out with them. So that's going to be exciting. But yeah, I just thought I'd give a shout out to Blexit, Candace and the crew coming into Houston, Texas. Big shout out. So if you're in the Houston area, if you're in any, in the area here in Texas or locally somewhere in Texas, you want to come out, please come out, join us here in Houston. And so again, my couple of announcements obviously were the Border 911 and then obviously the Blexit event. So I've definitely gone over. One of the things is, guys, I'm going to hop off from Stand Up, Stand Out America, and I'm going into a Twitter space. I'm going to do my first Twitter space with Cambry. We are going to talk about the steps to unseat Ronna McDaniel. So join us on space and Twitter here about 10:30 Central Time. It is a late time, right? But the spaces there go on at all hours of the night. So we just want to make sure that we empower the grassroots, in doing this. So one of the things is if you're here in the Texas area, and again, this applies to other states as well, but we're trying to make sure that we unseat Ronna McDaniel. And so that Mike Lindell and Hermit from California are running to unseat Ronna McDaniel. But guys, what people don't understand is that there is a certain process, and they go through the Roberts rules, and 3 people from each state will vote for the new RNC chairperson, and that's the chairman of the GOP or chairwoman of the GOP, and the RNC and the committee man and committee woman. There's 3 people from every state that will vote. They don't normally. This is not like, oh, somebody gets to vote for them. So this is just those 3 people representing the whole state of Texas. So from what I'm understanding is that Hermit has gained the support in Texas. Hermit has gained the support of our committee man, Robin Armstrong, and our chair, Matt Rinaldi, the RPT Republican Party of Texas chairman is, definitely has, they're voting for Hermit. However, Tony Andeshiel here in Texas is supporting Ronna McDaniel. So it's extremely important that if you live in Texas and you are a delegate or you're a precinct chair, you need to contact Tony Andeshiel, let her know that you are not supporting and do not expect her to support Ronna McDaniel, and that you expect her to vote the way that the grassroots and the delegates and the precinct chairs expect her to vote. Here's the thing. If she does not, she can find herself challenged in 2024. So I'm going to urge y'all to apply pressure on Tony Andeshiel here in Texas to unseat Ronna McDaniel. I think that the people across the nation, we want change. This is why we press so hard with the Kevin McCarthy thing. We really want change, and we want change as well in the Republican Party. So I think that, Ronna McDaniel is definitely not in touch with what's really going on the ground. And I just think that we need new leadership. There needs to be term limits for people in committees as well. So I think that, if people start texting, or not texting, but calling and emailing Tony Andeshiel, you can find her information on the Texas GOP .org, I believe. I think it's .org on the website for the Texas, GOP. Find her information, send her an email, let her know what precinct, what delegate you were. And let me tell you something. These RNC committee people will fear the delegates more than an average voter trying to call and tell you that they're going to, they want you to vote for somebody, because guess what? Voters don't elect them. They get elected by delegates at the convention. So they're going to listen to delegates and precinct chairs and committee, like Senate district committee people as well, because those people are the ones that attend the state convention and will determine if they get to seat again. So this is super important, guys. We need to do that. And so, yeah, I'm going to join this space, but I thank you so much. And thank you, Cody, for coming on at the last minute. We'll have to do this again more often and talk about the things that are going on. And Hope, we miss you too.
Yeah, I was gonna
Glenn,
say that. I miss you, Hope.
I know, miss our Hopi. Paula Glenn, thank you. Say, hey, thanks for sharing this such a powerful video. It is very powerful. Everyone does need to see it. Yes. And Douglas, hi, Phyllis Johnston, big shout out, Tiffany as well. We thank you so much. And of course, all of our Getter, man, I have so many people on Getter. It's crazy. So I just want to thank all of y'all over at Getter. And listen, I am interviewing with the new state of China. I'm interviewing with Nicole tomorrow. So they are like, take down the CCP. So I will be interviewed by them, and I think we're going to be live on Getter as well. So thank you all so much. And to all of our viewers, thank you so much. Share this message. Remember, there's stuff still going on. We got to still stay in touch and, stay in tune to what's happening. Let's be supportive of people, border911.com, as well as Houston, Texas, the Exit Foundation. So Cody, you got any last words before we check out tonight?
No, thank you for letting me be here. I enjoyed it. I was already in pajamas, but I, got ready and came on with you. So thank you so much for letting me be here.
So this is my new political t-shirt. It says, "Go ruin someone else's day." John Dutton. So John Dutton tells his daughter all the time, what are you doing today? And she's always ruining somebody's day, right? She's just a witch, right? I won't say the real one, but she's a witch. She's hardcore. So anyway, I think it's funny. So I wear this t-shirt a lot, and I wake up in the morning and I think about, whose day am I going to ruin today politically, right? Because I'm always fighting back. So anyway, I love my t-shirt. I had to show it to y'all. Go ruin someone else's day. Anyway, got it at the Buc-ee's because they are supportive of Yellowstone. So anyhow, guys, good night. Thank you, Cody Cag. We will see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And hey, if you want to listen to the space on Twitter, join us on the Twitter space, Cambry. I believe, let me make sure I've got Cambry's correct. Cambry at her. She's on, you can find her on Twitter at KAM V as in Victor, T as in Tom, V as in Victor. So Cam VTV. That's who she's the one that set up the space for. So I will be joining her here in the next couple of minutes. So anyway, again, guys, peace out. Let me see if I can get a Topher song here to play on the way out here in commemoration for we didn't get to have him tonight, but he's got some really good music. So let me see if I can find him. What did I say was Topher the Patriot, right? Topher the Patriot. Let me see. He's got several songs. So let's see which one I want to play and get. Let's see about this one. Hold on, guys. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen again. And here we go.
Recordings just got better.
Great.
Hey, it's
advertisements.
I'm so excited to announce that. Hey, Topher, I'm ready to show you your new home. Are you ready to see it?
You already know. Hey, let's get it. I feel good. Hands on my waist. Smile on my face. Light up the place. Homie, I feel good. Get out my way. Today's my day. No time to play. Homie, I feel good. In the land of the free. Time to show the world what a man I could be. Light weight on my shoulder from the stand under me. Got bands every week with a band on degree. God's gift, make it room for me. If you haven't heard about it, you gon' soon know me. Sunrises on the evil and the good, homie. So if you think about it, the time won't be too lonely. Just gotta focus and stay on task. A lot of y'all hopeless, but still don't ask you. Can be a boss without taking the risk. It better exist. It won't come from you clutching your fist. I guarantee it. If you want it, you can be it. Close your eyes, you can see it. Never wrong for me to wanna be great, and it won't be long of a wait because I feel good. Hands on my waist, smile on my face, light up the place, homie, I feel good. Get out my way, today's my day, no time to play. land of the free. Inalienable rights that were handed to me and died by the creators and over fans. And on deep pursuit of happiness, having a life and liberty. I can say what I want, pray when I want, stay where I want to. If you don't come around correct, I'm taking the hype. Independent hustler can have you killing the vibes. Ooh, taking nice stroll around the block. Message every started by the stop, making money round the clock. Rap gang got them literally in shock. Rolling Stone even wonder why I'm back. Now I'm in a whole mood. High spirits like I finished eating soul food. When you up, everybody seen and wanna know you, but I never show them what I go through. I feel good. Hands on my waist, smile on my face, light up the place. Homie, feel good. Get out my way. 2 days my day. No time to play. Homie, feel good.
And I'm leaving. All this pressure ain't nothing bringing me down. Got this feeling of a woman, nobody's stopping me now.
So you got to see a little bit of Topher. I just chose that song. I wasn't really sure, but that was my Blexit family. That was Rakita and all the Texas crew. Actually, I didn't even know he'd done a song with them. So that was the whole Texas crew. That's the whole, I worked with all of them. So it's really cool.
It's a happy song.
It's a really happy song. Yeah. But obviously he is known, and I know you're going to know this one. I know you're going to know this one because this is what he's known for. So this is how we really will end it here. I played it earlier, but hold on. This is what, hold on. Shoot, here it is.
All your business needs, one single platform.
Let me share my...
Go to Wix.com and get a robust booking solution that takes your business further. Set up your services, like classes, courses, or appointments.
Someday I will buy days with good order, sails to distant shores. Stand up high and proud, no longer I see it. Standing course for the heathens, too many fallen, too many fallen, too many fallen.
Tens of thousands on my right, thousands by my side. War between good and evil, watching our fists collide. Battle for our freedom now, to the streets we ride. Flags waving all around, pages full of pride. This is where we make a stand, no more give or take. March around the Capitol, storm the city gates. Putting pressure on their necks until the truth breaks. All walls of corruption, take out all the snakes. Star Spangled Banner, got it playing loud and proud. People from all walks of life filling up the crowd. Defending Constitution, many warriors of vow. Casting down any among us who have bucked and cow. Enough for tyranny, we come to take our country back. For all citizens, white, red, brown, or black. Return it to a form of glory, fix that bloody crack on the crown. Touch it down, it's going down.
Someday I will buy days with good order, sails to distant shores. Stand up high in the crowd.
So that is what he's become known for, that song. Anyway, guys, peace out. Go tune into Topher, listen to his music, be supportive. Cody, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on Friday night, Stand Up, Stand Out America with Cody Cag and yours truly, Bianca for Texas, La Conservadora Tejana. All right, guys, peace out.